Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the things you will need when you get a rabbit. So the first and most important thing you're going to need is money, because rabbits are not cheap pets and you will need quite a bit of money to properly take care of them and give them good lives. Okay, so the first actual thing that you're going to need to buy is an enclosure, some type of an enclosure for your rabbits. So even if they're going to be free roamed, you're going to want something you can put them in. If you just need to get them out of the way, you don't want them running around. So a good option would be an X-pen if they're going to be living inside, which I do recommend. If they do have to live outside, then you're probably going to want a hutch. And you can either buy one, if you do, make sure it is big enough. A lot of the hutches you see for sale for rabbits are not big enough, so make sure you get one that is big enough. It needs to be at least 2 feet by 4 feet, and then you also need to be giving them lots of exercise time on top of that. If you can't find one that you like and that is big enough, you can always DIY your own. That's what I did with Brenzel's hutch, and it worked out really beautiful. So if your rabbit lives inside, you can also DIY an enclosure. You could buy a hutch if you want. I know some people do use hutches for indoor rabbits, or you can make your own rabbit condo. I've seen a lot of people do this. They come up with really creative and cool ideas, so you could look online for some ideas like that. Most of the time they use like NIC. Next, you're gonna need some cage liners or beds. You want to line the floor of the cage with something unless it's like carpet. But most of the time, rabbits like having some kind of blanket or towel laid down to give them good traction and to keep them comfortable. And beds are just really nice and cozy for them. Especially if they maybe get a little bit cold, like in the winter, if they're outside, a bed is really good to have. And when it's winter here, which it is still summer, but when it is winter, I can probably do like a how to keep your rabbit warm in the winter video. But for now, we don't really have to worry about that, at least in this part of the country, because it is still basically summer. So now you will need a litter box, because as some people don't know, rabbits can actually be litter trained quite easily, and they will be more diligent with it after they are fixed, but they can still be litter trained even if they're not fixed. So you are going to want a litter box. Get one with high sides that is large enough for them to do a full turn in it. That's the size you need, so you're probably going to be needing to shop more in the cat section. You're also going to obviously need some litter or bedding. If you're going to be lining the enclosure with like paper shavings or something rather than like a blanket, you can do that. It tends to be more messy, but if you're always outside or something, that might work for you. So in my opinion, the best litter for litter boxes is wood pellets. So you can buy horse stall pellets or wood stove pellets, and they work really great because they absorb a lot of moisture and keep in a lot of the smell, so you won't have to be changing as often, which is really convenient. You can also buy paper shavings, but you should stay away from wood shavings such as cedar or pine, because they are very aromatic and it is not good for rabbits to be having that scent, and they're also most of the time not safe for the rabbit to, if they were to eat it, it's not safe for them. Also, make sure to stay away from clumping cat litters, because those are also not safe for rabbits. Okay, so I have a food dish obsession. So I love shopping for food dishes, food bowls, water bowls. I think it's just so much fun. There are so many options out there, and you will need some. So you get to have the pleasure of picking out some for your new rabbit. So you're going to need first a water dish. Now I recommend staying away from water bottles for several reasons, which I stated in my in another video, which I can link down in the description. But yeah, water bowls are the best. So you can get a gravity water like I have, which is really convenient because you're not going to have to fill it as often. Or you can just get a regular like ceramic dish, and you do want to make sure your bowls are ceramic or just some heavy material so that the rabbits can't flip them over, because they do like to flip their bowls and that can be quite messy. So you are also going to need something for their pellets if you are feeding pellets, and veggies. So I like to use a plate for veggies and a bowl for pellets, but you could do either one. It doesn't matter to the rabbit. Now some people also scatter feed their food, but even if you do that, I'd still recommend having at least one little bowl on hand in case you need it for something. Okay, now for another fun part, a hidey house and toys. So rabbits do need somewhere to hide because they're naturally burrowers and they're prey animals, so they want to have somewhere to hide where they feel secure and safe. So getting them hidey houses is a really good way to ensure that they have a good place to go and hide. You want to have at least one good hiding spot in their enclosure, but the more the better. You're also going to want some toys for your rabbit because rabbits do need lots of toys to keep them entertained, and chew toys to wear their teeth down because rabbits' teeth are constantly growing, so they need to have something to chew on to wear those teeth down. Now, if you are looking for some good toy recommendations, I recommend watching my video on the best toys for rabbits and where to get them, and I can also link that in the description down below for you guys so you can go ahead and watch that. Alright, your rabbit is obviously going to need some food, so it's time for some food shopping. So pellets. Pellets are optional. You should talk with a vet before eliminating pellets from their diet, because you got to be careful about your rabbit and their specific needs. So most rabbits do eat pellets. You can find these online or in the stores. And I do think I'm going to be doing a video on how to care for a new rabbit, so I can kind of include some of that in that video. But for now, yeah, you will probably need some pellets. Just make sure they are Timothy based and don't have extra stuff in them. I know a lot of companies put extra stuff in their pellets, like little treats and pieces of fruit, and that's just really unnecessary. You don't want that. You want only the pellets. You will also need veggies, and you're going to need to buy these probably on a weekly basis. That's what I do, because rabbits need quite a bit of veggies since they are herbivores. So make sure you have some veggies for when your new rabbit comes home. You're of course going to need a big lot of hay, because hay is 80% of a rabbit's daily diet, and so they eat a lot of it. They eat about their body size in hay every single day, so if that gives you kind of an idea of how much they're going to be eating. So for young rabbits, you're going to want alfalfa hay because it's high in like calcium and protein, so it's going to help them grow strong. But once they have reached adults, you are going to want to switch them over to lower calorie hay, like Timothy hay or oat hay, or just some kind of grass hay. You're probably also going to want some treats to reward your little bun bun. So I also have a video on good treats for rabbits, which again I can link in the description, and there's a lot of different treats you can get, but those are just some. Alright, now you're going to want some grooming tools to control all that fur, because rabbits do shed a lot. So probably the best grooming tool is the hair buster, and it is a bit pricey, and I personally don't have one. If you can't afford the hair buster, I recommend getting just like a flea comb. It's not going to be quite as good, but it'll still work really well. you want to stay away from those metal bristle brushes because rabbit skin is very, very delicate and you don't want to be scraping their skin like that. So you just want like a simple flea comb. You're also going to want some nail clippers because you will have to trim your rabbit's nails. I hate to break it to you, but you will unless you want to pay like a vet to do it. But in my opinion, that's unnecessary unless you really just don't feel comfortable doing it. But for most people, it is doable. Although it's not that enjoyable, it's doable. So you will need a nail clipper for your rabbit. You don't want to use human nail clippers because it can crush the rabbit's nail, which can be very, very painful for them. So you want to buy just a regular kind of like cat type nail clippers, and they work great for rabbits. Alright, well that's about all you're going to need for a new rabbit. It's probably going to cost quite a bit of money, but you know, it's fun and it's so much fun getting all the new things for your new bunny and getting your new bunny. Remember that I recommend always to adopt and don't shop because it's just so much better to adopt and rescue a rabbit rather than buying from a breeder for many reasons. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you all very soon.